Hello guys, this is Komal Taya and welcome to my channel Komal Taya. So guys, in the last video I discussed chemical thermodynamics there and I hope you liked that video. There I discussed some Maxwell relations, some Maxwell equations and Born thermodynamic square, right? Some 3 to 4 aspects of Born thermodynamic square. And in this video we are gonna discuss about thermodynamic coefficients and the basic partial derivation, how we do it, and cyclic rule. Fine. So you're like, most of you may be knowing this, like how to do partial derivation. I know 80% of you must be knowing, but I think 20% will be left who doesn't know, especially people who belongs to bio background. So I'm defining the partial derivation, how to do that for people who don't know it, and then we'll be proceeding to thermodynamic coefficients and then further to cyclic rule. So that will be our topics for the day. So guys, without wasting time, let's dive into the video. Fine. So guys, first let's start with the partial derivation thing. Suppose I have this z. Fine. This is the z and it is equal to 3x square y. Fine. This is z, like z is something and it is equal to 3x square y. And I have to calculate partial differential of z with respect to x, keeping y constant, and partial derivation of z with respect to y, keeping the x constant. So how to solve that? So first of all, we'll take this. Fine, let's solve it. It is the solution. So the z is 3x square y. Fine. So let's differentiate it with respect to x. So I'm writing it like this. So instead of z, I'll be putting this value, guys. So let's write it del by del x, and here 3x square y, and same as it is, keeping y constant. Fine. So that would be equal to what? So guys, what happens in complete differentiation when two variables are there? So we apply that formula that one we keep constant and other thing get differentiated, plus we keep the other thing constant and we differentiate the first thing. Fine. That formula, you know, when we have two variables and we differentiate the multiplication of two variables. Fine. But here it doesn't happen. So what you will be doing, so whatever constants will be there, we'll be taking it out. So it is 3 is constant, so I'll take it outside. Okay. And you can see like this whole equation is at constant y. Fine. So I'll be taking y outside as well and keeping the x square inside. Fine guys. Am I clear? 3y del x square by del x, keeping y constant. Now we can do the differentiation of del x square by del x, keeping the y constant. That would be very easy. We know that it would be 3y into 2x. Fine. Differentiation of x square is 2x. So what will be left with the answer? 3 to the 6 and 6xy. So this is the answer and this is how we do partial differentiation. Fine. So now we calculated this. So we'll be calculating this now. Fine. So I'm rubbing this for now. So let's rub it and we'll be calculating the other thing. So let's calculate the other thing. It is del z by del y, keeping the x constant. So now you can see what we'll be doing. We'll be simply putting the value of z here first. So let's put it here. Del by del y, and the value of z is 3x square y, keeping the x constant. Fine. So I have put it like this. Now since x is constant, so obviously whatever constant quantities are there, we'll keep it outside the bracket and the rest will be differentiated. Fine. So this now x is constant and already 3 is constant, so I'm taking outside 3 and x square also, and I'll be left with what? Del y by del y, keeping the x constant, and del y by del y would be 1, right? So that would be 1, so it would be 3x square. So answer is 3x square. So that's how we do partial differentiation. Fine. I think this concept should be clear to you. So guys, let's proceed to another topic of the day, that is important topic, and that is thermodynamic coefficients. Fine guys. So the thermodynamic coefficient. So what are the thermodynamic coefficients? Thermodynamic coefficients are the entities where we make change in one variable with respect to another variable, keeping all other variables constant. Fine, we'll be making change, the relative change in one variable with respect to another. Like we'll be bringing change with respect to another variable. Fine, and keeping the all other variables constant. So let's take an example. So first one is alpha. So this is thermal expansion. Thermal expansivity we also call it. It has many names. Expansivity, it is V and it is S. Fine, and it is also called isobaric thermal expansion coefficient. So guys, can you see like this term is self-explanatory, isobaric thermal expansion coefficient. So what is the meaning of isobaric? So isobaric means the pressure is constant, and thermal expansion, like what are you getting from thermal expansion? Like we are giving some temperature and heat and expansion is taking place. So expansion means suppose the system is here and when expansion is taking place, so it is going like this. So it is expansion. Fine, and compression is what? Suppose system is here and we are compressing it. Fine, we are compressing it, so that is compression. So expansion, the volume will expand, volume will increase. So what is happening here? We are giving temperature, suppose it is a system and we are giving temperature to it, and there is a change in relative volume. Like if I am giving temperature, so this is happening, temperature, and this is happening, expansion, but we are keeping the pressure constant. You can see isobaric, keeping the pressure constant, and thermal, like we are giving heat or temperature and expansion is taking place. So how will we write it? So alpha would be, it would be relative change dV by V. We always write relative change as dV by V divided by what? What I am giving? I am giving heat, temperature, then only change in volume is taking place. So relative volume in change divided by temperature. Fine. So it would be at what? At constant pressure. Fine. So can I write it like this? So it is 1 by V. So can I take it outside? So the expression would become what? Del V by del T at P. So alpha is this. So guys, one more thing. So this is the final expression. But you need to take care of this thing also. Whenever also from Bond's thermodynamic square you can calculate many things, but from this formula also, if someone asks del V by del T at P, that would be also equal to alpha V. Fine guys, or you can like where can you correlate this formula? To the Bond square, where I took the parallel lines, like that only we took. Wait guys, let me just rub this thing here, like we did in this S, P, V, T. Fine, hey, God, A, U. Fine, and then like how we can write it del V by T. So del V by T is we are going from here to here. So we can write it like this also, del S by del P, keeping T constant. Fine, like if you are unable to connect to me right now, what you can do, you can go back to the last lecture, the last video, and there you can see how I did this. So I have given like the detailed explanation, I'm so sorry, explanation of this, and you will be finding it very easy. Fine, so this is the expression for thermal expansivity. So now let's go to another one. Fine, so let's go to another one. So the second one is beta. So here what is happening in beta? Fine guys, so we are applying pressure and there is change in volume. Fine, there is change in volume. Suppose I am applying pressure and there is a negative change in volume, because if suppose system is here, so I am applying pressure from outside. So I'll be applying pressure from piston, suppose. So I'm applying like this. So obviously negative would change, because suppose it is 100. So when I am compressing it, so suppose it reached till 50. So what we do, like dV, the change would be what? 50 minus 100, the final minus initial. So that would be minus 50 minus 100 would be minus 50. I'm just taking one example. So it is minus 50, and now what, like the change whenever we'll be applying pressure and when compression will be taking place. So guys, we also call it compressibility factor. Compressibility factor, because compression is taking place. So we are applying pressure and there is negative relative change in volume, but we need to keep one thing constant, that is temperature. So keep temperature constant for this compressibility factor. So let's write it in mathematical form. So minus dV by V, so it is relative change in volume. Fine, relative change in volume is taking place when I am applying pressure for compression. Fine, so divided by dP, because I am applying pressure from outside and I am keeping the temperature constant. Fine, this is the expression for beta. Also, how can I write it? Let's write it. It would be minus V del V by del P at T. So guys, whenever we'll introduce any constant in complete differentiation, can you see it is complete differentiation? So whenever I'll be introducing constant, so I introduced as T a constant. Fine, so this complete differential will convert into this partial differential. Fine guys. So whenever I'll be applying one constant on a complete differentiation form, this the complete differentiation will convert into partial differentiation. Fine, so this is the concept. Also it can be asked, like in alpha by, what was there in alpha? Del V by del T. You could write it del V by del T at P is equal to alpha V. So here what can you write? Del V by del P at T is equal to minus beta V. Or it can be asked like del P by del V, the reverse. So always keep these things in mind. Or you can also write it from Born's thermodynamic square. And one more thing I'll be telling you in the next topic. So from that cyclic rule you can also correlate. So simultaneously you have to keep many things so that question can be asked from any corner so that you can answer that. Fine. So this is the thing with beta. So it is minus V del V by del P at T. Fine, this is the beta. This was the second thermodynamic coefficient. Now let's talk about the third one. So third one is gamma. Fine, so let's write it. The gamma, fine, it is temperature base. Like first of all we'll write isochoric temperature based pressure change coefficient. Fine, so gamma would be what? Here what is happening, we'll be applying temperature to our system and we'll see the relative change in pressure. Fine, we'll apply the temperature and we'll see the relative change in pressure keeping the volume constant. So how can we write it mathematically? It would be done like this. The relative change in pressure would be del P by P, like write it completely first, divided by what? dt. Fine, and we are keeping volume constant. So isochoric means volume is constant. Fine, so isobaric, which came in alpha, so isobaric means pressure is constant. Fine guys, so it is dP by P divided by dt at V. So I introduced a constant here, so it will convert into del P by del T at V, and this 1 by P would be coming outside, and this is the formula of gamma. Fine, so whenever sometimes what happens, this equation comes del P by del T, so you can also write it like this, del P by del T is equal to P gamma. Fine guys, del P by del T at constant V is equal to P gamma. So we can write it like this also, or from Bond's thermodynamic square, and one aspect more from cyclic rule, which I'm just about to tell you. Right. So this was all about these things. Fine, guys. So I have 1-2 questions also for you. So let's do it. No, we'll be doing it afterwards, after cyclic rule. Fine. So first let's discuss cyclic rule. This hasn't been rubbed nicely. So cyclic rule. So you all must be knowing what is cyclic rule. So guys, this is a rule which gives a relation between different thermodynamic variables as P, V, T, like, so P, V, T, fine. So these three are the variables, and what we do in this cyclic rule, fine guys, we take one circle. We took one circle and we'll be writing P here, we will be writing V here, and we'll be writing T here. PVT, like this. And suppose this is a circle, and if I go clockwise like this, fine, so I can write it in this form. Like, this is just one formula, this is just a rule, so that you can memorize one formula which I'm just about to write. So we can write it like this: P2, if I'm going from P to V, if I'm going from T to V, I can write del P, like initially where I started and then I ended at what? V. So I'll be writing del V. Just start the point, just take the point at P, just write del P. Then you are moving to V, then write del V, keeping T constant. So I wrote. Now again, since I reached here, so I'll be moving from here to here. Fine, from this point to T. So now what I'll write, since I started at V, so I'll be writing del V divided by, I ended at what? At T. So I'll be writing T. So keeping what? Keeping pressure constant. Fine. So again, one more thing. Since I reached here, so I'll be moving from here to here, from T to P. Now I'll be moving. So how to write it? So I started from T. So I can write it like this: del T by del P, keeping volume constant, the other variable constant, and that would be always equal to 1, guys. So this is the cyclic rule. It's so simple. Fine, this is how you can write it. So guys, it is not mandatory that you will walk clockwise. So the case would be same even if you walk anti-clockwise. So let's write it in the another way, in anti-clockwise. Fine. So let's write it. This is one and same thing. So let's write it the another one for anti-clockwise. Fine. So how can we write it? And now this time we are moving. Let's redraw it. I'm redrawing it. So it is like this. Fine. And I wrote P here, I wrote V here, and I wrote T here. Fine. Now we'll be going anti-clockwise from here to here and to here. Suppose I'm going from P to T. Suppose I'm going from here to here, from P to T. So how can I write it? The same way we wrote in the first one. It would be del P by del T, keeping the volume constant. The where I started, I will write it first, and the where I ended, I'll write it later on, and keeping the other variable constant. Now we'll move from here to here. So since we started at T and ended at V, so I'll write it like this: del T by del V, keeping the pressure constant. Also, since I reach here now, so I'll be moving from where? From V to P. Fine. So write del V by del P, keeping the temperature constant, and it will be always equal to -1. Guys, it is -1. Never write +1. Always remember it is -1, or you can remember T got cancelled, P got cancelled, del P got cancelled out, like this. Suppose if you get confused in the exam, suppose 4 relations are given and you have to identify like which one is the expression for cyclic rule, so which one is the correct thermodynamic relation. So what can you do? You will be cancelling it out. Del T, del T, del V, del V, del P, del P. So everything gets cancelled out, so that is the cyclic rule. Fine, this is the short trick. If everything get cancelled out, like del T, del T, del V, del V, and del P, del P. So that will be cyclic rule. Fine guys, so this was all for cyclic rule. Now I want to discuss one question with you. So just do this. So let's do this question. Fine. So we are doing, so it is given that alpha by beta is equal to del P by del T at V. We have to prove that alpha by beta is equal to del P by del T keeping volume constant. So how to write that? So we know what is the formula for alpha. So we will be writing that. So it is alpha. So alpha is 1 by V del V by del T at P. Fine. Divided by what? This beta. So it is what? Minus 1 upon V del V by del P at T. Fine guys. This is the formula for alpha and beta. So what will happen now? This V and this 1 by V will get cancelled out and we will be remaining with what? Minus del V by del T at P and this del P. Like when this will go in numerator, it will get reversed, del P by del V at T. Fine. Now we have to simplify this formula to get this. So guys, can you see any correlation from this formula to this? Can you see? Like it is VT, PV, PT. So we can do it from cyclic rule. Fine, where I told you how to do it. So let's do it from cyclic rule. So guys, I'm rubbing it. I'm rubbing this one because I don't have space here. Fine, I don't have space here. So I'll be writing it like this. From here, I'm writing here. Fine, this is the another. Just leave it for now. So if I write from cyclic rule, what is there? Del P by del T at V, del T by del V at P, and del V by del P at T, it would be equal to minus 1. Since we now want what? This del P, this formula, del V by del T and del P by del V. We want this and this. Fine, so let's take it. Del P by del T at V is equal to, if I take these two expression to another side, so what it will become? Minus del P by del V at T into del V by del T at P. Am I clear guys? Simple mathematics. I just found out this because I need to put this value because we need to separate these two things which are here. Fine, this was alpha by beta. So we need to separate these things out. So I am keeping these things out. So which is what? It is minus del P by del V at T and del V by del T at P, which is equal to what? Del P by del T at V. So can I write alpha by beta is equal to del P by del T at V? Guys, tell me. Alpha by beta is equal to del P by del T at V. So this is the final formula. So what we did, let's plot down the steps which we did. Firstly, we just wrote the formula for alpha, then we wrote the formula for beta, then we divided it, then we were left with this thing. Fine. Then we correlated this thing since it was asked in the question. So I correlated this thing with cyclic rule and I found out the value of these things from cyclic rule and put this value, and then I ended up having this formula. So alpha by beta is equal to del P by del T at V. Fine guys, always remember that alpha by beta is equal to del P by del T at V. Fine guys, now we can further simplify it to one to two steps. Fine, so let's do it. So since it is alpha by beta del P by del T at V, so guys, can you find some correlation from the previous concepts which I told you? Find any thermodynamic coefficient. So we'll be seeing that when temperature is changing with pressure. So that was in the case of the last thermodynamic coefficient. So what was it? It was gamma. Fine. There was change in pressure, relative change in pressure with respect to temperature, keeping the volume constant. So what was the value for that? Gamma was 1 by P, del P by del T at V. So now we want del P by del T at V. So we'll be calculating del P by del T at V is equal to gamma P. So since I calculated this value, can I put it in this? So it would be alpha by beta is equal to P gamma, and it would be P gamma, or alpha is equal to beta P gamma. So always remember that. So always try to find relations between Born thermodynamic square, thermodynamic coefficient, cyclic rules. Fine guys, and you are good to go for everything. So this was all for this lecture. I hope you liked it. So guys, we'll be discussing in further lecture state function, path function, Euler's theorem, like that only, and then we'll be discussing some CP-CV relations, and then reversible and irreversible for isothermal and adiabatic processes, and then we'll be moving to throttling process, the Joule-Thomson coefficient, Carnot engines. We'll be discussing everything: entropy, Clausius-Clapeyron equation, thermodynamics for open system. Fine, we'll be covering that. So be with me till the end. We'll be covering everything. We'll be discussing previous year question also. So that's my strategy for you guys. So that's it for the video. I'll see you in the next one. Till that time, take care of yourself and keep smiling. Bye.
On my mind, so say